Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. We got it. Okay, we're being recorded. Let me get my handy notes here. And somebody remind me before the meeting's over. I do have the notes available in both PDF and Word format, and I'll post them on the chat. The files on the chat, so if anybody wants them, they can have them there. But I don't want to do that until we know that everybody's here that's going to be here at the meeting. So, okay. Google Maps. Is there anyone out there who has not at least dabbled a little bit with Google Maps? If your picture isn't up there, just say something, or, send up a skyrocket through the computer, whatever. Anything? Nope, we've all used it. So you don't need my program, no. All right. Google Maps provides mapping services for the consumer application. They're available for almost anywhere in the world, and we've got some interesting sites that you can look at later on. But you can get street maps, satellite imagery, street views, directions to wherever you want to go, and even traffic information. There's even some that I don't really quite understand. They have topographical information, and I could never figure those things out myself. So it's entirely up to you. I'm going to turn my camera a little bit here. I got the camera on my laptop I screwed up, and so I broke down and bought one. I paid a whopping big $3 for it. So that's a $3 webcam there. Store nearby got a box load of these things, and they needed to get rid of them. So that's what I got. Okay. Accessing Google Maps, there's several ways to do that. You can go to their, go directly there with a web command. It's maps.google.com. Pretty straightforward and simple. If you don't have a Google account, that's one way of getting there. You can also get there from Google if you want to, but if you want to go directly there and you don't use Google for some strange reason, you can just do it with a maps.google.com. Let's see. Businesses will frequently have links on their website to Google Maps. It's not unusual to see a map of a location of a business or whatever on their website, and they've embedded that in there, or they'll have a link that'll take you out to Google. They'll have a little image or a thumbnail of the map, and you click on that and it takes you out there. If they've got something a little more fancy, it'll actually allow you to work on Google Maps right in the space on their website. But at any rate, so you might find something that way. And then, of course, you can get to Google Apps by clicking on the little waffle icon in the corner that shows up. Let me share the screen with you here. Hopefully we can do that. I'm going to click on share screen. And we're going to go with that one and that, just in case we get any of that nonsense. And let's see here. Can you see the screen now?
Yes.
Somebody tell me if you can see the screen. Okay.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. So if I'm at Google and I want to get to Google Maps, I can go to the waffle, which is up here right next to my initial J, and I click on that, and then I look for the icon for maps, and there it is right there. By the way, in case anybody didn't know it, you can move these guys around if you want to, and put the ones that you use most often near the top. You don't have to scroll down through half of this nonsense to get to the ones that you use. So I'm going to go to Maps here, and I'm going to open it up because I like to have Google available all the time. So I'm just going to go to Google Maps on a new tab, and there it is in a brand new tab. Okay. Anybody have any problems with that so far? And I will ask this quite often. Close that and have a look. See this. Okay. Turn that down. Okay. I had some busy work on the screen I wanted to get rid of. Okay. And this is basically it opens up with the street maps available, some basic background. You can move around the screen. You can move the map around if you want to. You can zoom in by using your mouse wheel. Rolling it forward, get you zoom forward, and moving it back will take you out to the borders of the country or the state or whatever, and you can get way out here somewhere. Okay. All righty. I'm gonna get in here again somewhere. I don't know where I was. I'll stay right about there. That's good. Okay. And then you can also move from side to side. If you put your pointer on the map, press and hold, and then you can move this around like so to bring a different section of the map into your views. Now, what happens is if you've got it like I do here, it takes a while to remap the screen with other roads and stuff. So you may see white space temporarily while it redoes the screen. For some reason on my laptop, it really is very, very light. And so if you see me leaning forward to look at this thing, it's because I'm trying to see the lines. I don't know if you can see them. I hope you can see them better than I can. Okay. You'll be shown the street map, and you have a little option for a menu bar up here on the upper left-hand side of the map. You have the stack of hamburgers over here on the left. And if you click on that, it'll bring a little flyout menu with some choices. And you can tell it you want to look at terrain, traffic, more. There's lots of different types of mapping that you can see, your places, if you have any that you've saved specifically for yourself. I don't know what all of these things are for sure. Quite honestly, I have not explored them all. And at this point, I'm going to mention one other thing. I'm going to be talking about Google Maps as it works on the laptop and PCs, desktop computers. I am not going to be discussing its use on the tablet or on the phone because, quite honestly, I don't use it there. So I really don't know how it works that well. And there are some major differences. I was kind of hoping Leonard would be here this evening because it has an interesting feature I found out on the mobiles. If you have a motorcycle and you want to avoid driving on streets with cars and only take narrow roads, you can get roads that only a motorcycle can go down, as opposed to a car, full-fledged car. But don't ask me how to do that. Once again, I don't know that answer. All righty. So we're at we're on the map page, and you want to find a location. I'm going to use the location of my old address where I used to live, and I'm going to type that in here. And because I've been there many times before, it remembers that, and it shows that to me, and I can do that. It's going out there now. And there it is. And that's the house in back. 400 square feet of rompin' stompin' empty space. That's the house in back there. And this is a street view. I think that's about as current as it gets. That's like 2019. And we'll talk about that in a little while. Okay. And you'll notice here's the address. It appears with a red dot on it. And when I put my pointer on it, it shows that current street view picture of it. And it gives a zip code automatically. Along with, it has some points of interest around nearby. Charles J. Saz Elementary School, where I went to grade school. That's the fire department. This is Vidham Park, which is a Chicago park. By the way, this is called Central Stickney. And over here, everything to the right, that's Chicago. I lived right on the borderline of Chicago and Central Stickney. Central Stickney is an unincorporated area. And so we have no police force of our own. We have to deal with the county. That's who takes care of the law in town, at any rate. And so that's the address there. And that's where we're at. Okay. Let's see. We entered the street name. By the way, you can also, if you want to, instead of entering an address, you can enter a company name. And I'll put down Columbia College, which is where I used to work. Oh, I hate smaller keyboards. Okay. And here is Columbia College in Chicago. This is a Michigan Avenue store or location. And they show it right here. This is where the administration has its offices, so that's why they show it in that building, but they've got buildings all over the Loop area. Okay, so I didn't have to type the address, just as you can tell Google that you want a particular company and it'll come up with a company and its address and everything. The same thing is true inside of Google Maps. You can even, instead of telling it the name of a company, you can give it an object that you want to look for, like Buckingham Fountain. And it will find that for you. And it has a very nice picture of it in the evening hours. Okay. And that's where the Buckingham Fountain is located. I believe that's it. Yep, that's it right there on the map. So you can look it up by address, or you can look it up by company name. And if it's a significant landmark, you can look it up by that as well. Let's see. You can also get a map not only of a individual address, but let's say that you would like a map of Illinois. There is a map showing Illinois, and you can zoom in on that if you want and get it right there on the screen for yourself and get the whole map in there like so. Or you can even do a country. We'll go with my homeland, where my ancestors come from, not where I come from, but where my ancestors are from. And there we go with Poland. And so you can get a whole country. And it's small enough that we can get it on the map here and see a little bit of detail. And so you can really key in on whatever it is that you really want to look at. Now I'm going to go back to looking at my address here that I had earlier. So hang on while I go there. Okay, and we're back here. And I'm going to turn off, I think, well, I don't know if I'm going to do that. I guess I won't. Okay, I was going to try and turn it off. Let's see, can I do that? Yeah. Nope, I can't do it. Okay. Oh, let's see. Okay, I have down here at the bottom I can look for some items. I have to exit from the share for a minute because I got to turn off my closed caption because it's going over the top of some of my stuff and I can't see it. Let's see, hide the subtitles. There we go. Okay, and I'll go back into it again. That's already checked. That's already checked. And there we go. Okay, now I can see it. And down at the bottom, they have what they call layers. I call them views, but they call them layers. It's all the same thing as far as I'm concerned. And if I put my pointer on it, it's where it says satellite, I can get a satellite view of the area and it's working. There it is. And once again, I can zoom in. If I choose, here's my home, my old home. I can zoom right in there. This is the house. And that's about as close as I can get, but that's pretty good. That's an alley. For those of you not from Chicago, we have alleys in the Chicago area. Okay. And this is the front yard. And like that. Okay. We also have other things that we can look at besides the satellite view. We have what's called we can look at traffic patterns. And let's see here if I can get that. It's taking time. I don't know why it's taking so long. Hello. Why aren't you doing anything? I can just barely see that. Oh, I know why. There we go. Try. Nope. I'm not seeing the roads at all. I don't know why that is. Oh, there they are. Now they're coming in. Okay. And if we go over here, we can see that the traffic's pretty light on I-55. That's what this road is over here. Oh, this is 47th Street, excuse me. I-55 is here. There we go. I-55 is here and it's pretty much green all the way through. So we don't have any traffic right now because it's a little later in the evening. So there won't be any traffic. But it'll show you the traffic listing if you want. You can also see, let me get back to the home front here. There we go. You can also see, and I'll try and zoom out enough. There we go. You can take a look and see the transit locations. And it shows you Starbucks and things like that. But this is part of the reason why it shows these things is that this is a route, if you will. We're not seeing it. I gotta darken it up. Whoops. Okay, there it is. Okay. And it travels right along here. Archer Avenue runs along this way, and there's a bus route here. This is Cicero Avenue, and the bus runs along this way as well. So we've got that. If there were bicycling routes, and they don't have those out there, but if they were, they would show up. You can show those. There's a 3D imaging, which I haven't done much with. I'm not real familiar with that. So those of you that like to play with that kind of stuff, you can. It basically does a 3D rendering of the area. Gives you the basic shapes, but it doesn't go into the detail. It's not photographic like the satellite view is. And then we have the street view. And the easiest way to get to the street view, if you know the address, easiest way to do it is to simply put your pointer on that little graphic, the image that appears right below your address that you placed in there, and just double click on it. And when you double click on it, suddenly you find yourself with the street view. And that's the view from the street. Now, you can go around in a circle. You can look at things. You have 360 degrees here. That's looking south. If we went south for a half mile, we'd run into the fence from Midway Airport. And this is across the street. And it was really funny because the first time I used this feature, I went out there and the neighbor who lived over here at the time, happened to be out on his porch when the Google truck went by with their cameras going, and he was sitting out with his feet up on the railing and just relaxing with his cigar and just having a good old time. And so they do catch people, and we'll talk a little bit about that too. And oh, here, look at that. There's the Google car. Oh, I hadn't noticed that the first time I went through this. So the Google car is there. That suggests that this is probably, what's the date on this image? Let me see. September 2019. So that is probably around 5 o'clock in the evening, maybe, or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, excuse me, when that was done, based on where that shadow's at. Maybe earlier, maybe 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I don't know. But it seems like a pretty long shadow for early afternoon. I think it's probably longer. But at any rate, so, and now we're going, that's north on Laramie Avenue. And then back around in a circle, like so. Okay. All righty. Do we have any questions so far? Anybody? It's been very quiet out there. I don't know. I may be talking to myself. How are we doing out there? Somebody
I got
say
a question.
Yes, sir.
Are there countries or where they don't allow, you for Google to show like satellite views or street views like Russia or China and stuff?
Funny you should mention that. Let me take you to a place where you cannot get a satellite view. And do you know where that is? I think.
Russia?
Russia.
China?
North Korea.
Try Area 51. Okay. Area
yeah,
51. Yeah, I don't want to go there. I want to go to Area 51. But if you go to Area 51, this is the Alien Center out there. But if you try to go down to Area 51, which I think it's here somewhere. I'm not certain exactly where it's at. But if you try and go down there, the image is all blurred. It won't let you see Area 51, even if you have the exact coordinates. And I don't have the exact coordinates here, so it's not going to take me there. But if you go to Area 51, you find out where it's at. They do have it listed, and you can see it from way up high. But when you zoom in on it, instead of seeing individual buildings, it's like seeing an X-rated movie with all the good parts pixelated out. You can't see the image at all. You don't know what's down there. There's some kind of buildings, but that's about it. You can't see anything else. So yes, there are some areas that are protected from viewing. Okay,
How about the Pentagon?
What?
The Pentagon, can you see it?
I don't know what that is. I can't understand you. I'm not hearing it right, I guess.
Pentagon, where the military leaders are.
Oh, the Pentagon. Okay. Yeah, you could probably see that. I don't know. Let me see if we can get it here. I'm pretty sure we probably can. There's nothing there except a roof to see, so I can't imagine it being blocked out. Yeah, there's a Pentagon. I think that's it. 2, 4, 5. Yeah, that's it. Pentagon. Oh, and they have a Subway store in there. How about that? But that's the Pentagon. That's what you're looking at there. It basically shows you the outline of the building. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Any questions? Never thought.
Isn't this similar to Google Earth?
I really have not used Google Earth a whole lot. So in some ways it is, except with Google Earth, I think I don't think you have the mapping capabilities, the same mapping capabilities that you have with Google Maps. In other words, I don't know that you have the street maps and the trips, getting directions and things like that. So it's a little bit different in that respect. And you're coming at it from outer space, if you will. So just about all the time. But I have not played with Google Earth, so I really can't tell you that much about it. And also with Google Earth, I guess you can go to Mars and the moon and other places too, or that may be Google Space, I forget which. We had a fellow from Google come out to one of the expos we had 10 or 12 years ago over at the college, and he was really a whiz at it. He took us all over the universe with the Google stuff. It was great. But I haven't had much cause to come at the planet from outer space. I guess maybe now that Elon Musk and that guy from Virgin Airlines or whatever it is they're going out in space now. Maybe we need to have maps out there now, and so we'll be all set. But that's about it. Yeah.
I got an electric car. Do they show charging stations on the map?
Do they show charging stations? I don't know. I think they do. I think that's a possibility. Let me see if I can find that again. Hang on. There we go. Let's get here. And we got the photo. If I go with, well, if I ask for directions, I seem to recall seeing something like that. They've added now in the maps, they've added a COVID section where you can find COVID information. In other words, places that are giving out COVID tests or COVID whatever, and they have a little hypodermic needle that they use for that on these little dots and stuff.
Short answer, Joe, short answer on charging stations. If
Yeah,
you come at it through Google search, you can get to the maps and they do show them.
they do show them. Okay, thank you very much, Bob.
And they show who owns them.
Okay, good. Did everybody get that, I hope? Okay, yeah. So they do have the charging stations listed. I didn't get directions or anything. If I got directions, then they'd probably show up, or they'd have some kind of access to them. And that's where I was going next, was to take a look at getting directions from one place to another. And that's where I'm going now. I'm going to get directions. So I've got my address, 5008 South Laramie here, and I'm going to ask for directions. And hello, come on, you can do it. There we go. And it gives me this little blue box up in the upper left-hand corner. And notice, since I said directions and I was at 5008 South Laramie, it assumes that's where I'm going. And the beginning here is where I'm coming from. But actually, I want to go from 5008 South Laramie. I'm going to pick somebody up at Midway Airport. So I'm going to click on these little arrows here on the right-hand side, and that just switches places. That moves 5008 South Laramie up to the top. That's my origin. And where I'm going to go is Midway Airport. Whoopsie daisy. We have to, let's see here. I have to go down here. Why is it going up there? Well, for crying out loud. Get down here, you little W. It keeps on going up at the top. Why is it doing that? This is
Type
Type
it
it in, that's
location,
wicked.
it may change.
let's see, Midway Airport. Airport. Nope, it's not doing it. Well, let me get rid of this thing again here and see. I may have to reload the page. Hang on, folks. I'm gonna get rid of that. Okay. All right, so I start from here. I go to get directions. I switch this around and I'm going to click in here and type MID. Okay, there it is. Way. The Wonders of Electronics, Midway Airport. And it shows me a map of how to get there. Now, you'll notice that I have walking instructions. So it shows me how to get there by walking. And by walking, all I have to do is go a half a block south to 51st Street. This is squaring all the corners. And if I go for the details here, it's basically 1.6 miles. I head south on South Laramie, go to 51st. At 51st, I turn left. Then I go to Cicero and turn right. Then I keep walking until I cross Archer Avenue. I turn right onto Cicero. I keep going. And then I have to go around here. It goes around in a big circle down here. And then I get over to the terminal. Okay. And that's how I get to the airport. Okay, let me close these up again here if I can. I want to close these up. There we go. Okay. So I've gone to Midway Airport because I'm going to pick somebody up there. But now I want to go from Midway Airport. I want to go to the Conrad Hill downtown Chicago. So I go over here and I can add another location, another destination. And now I'm going to put in the Conrad Hilton Hotel, Conrad Hilton. And that's on South Michigan Avenue. And now, boom, there it is. It shows me how to get to that address. Of course, it's going to take me 3 hours and 42 minutes to get there if I walk. So I probably want to take my car, so I'll drive that. And now it gives me a slightly different route to take. It's going to have me go over to Archer Avenue and then to Cicero down. After I get there, I'm going to go back up Cicero. I'm going to go north on Cicero, get on I-55, take it down to Lakeshore Drive, and then take it over to probably Balbo. I can't see the detail, but I'll take it to Balbo, and then that'll take me to Michigan Avenue, and I'll be there, wham, just like that. So you can have, I've had as many as 10 locations listed in the past, and it's worked. So just to let you know, I can also, if I wish to, I can go with public transportation. And here's a little icon for public transportation. And that changes here. And now it has me going over to, let's see, where is that taking me? Okay. I can go to the transit station, 52 minutes. What it tells me what buses to take and the whole works here. Let's see here. 7:46 p.m. 8:40. What are the details here? That's when. Okay. That's okay. Walk. I have to walk to Archer and Laramie. At Archer and Laramie, I get on a 62 bus. I take the 62 bus. It says take it to 60. Oh gosh, it wants me to take it to State and 9th Avenue, take the bus. Oh, I don't think so. I don't think so. That's not the way I want to go. Let's try. This sounds like it might be a little bit better. Take the orange line. Let's try that and see how that works. With the orange line details, I go to Cicero and 50th Street. I can walk there. It's going to have me walk. And then I take a 47 bus. And then it says go to the Kedzie orange line. I don't know why it wants me to go to Kedzie. I would take the Cicero myself, but that's all right. And then there it goes. And there's the orange line. And you can see the orange line. So you have several different methods you can use for transporting. There's biking. If there's bicycle paths, it'll take you down the bicycle paths as well. And if I wanted to fly into Meigs Field and it was still there, I could probably click on the airplane and it would probably have me take off from Midway in a helicopter and land at Meigs Field. They did that when back in the 50s, you could go to all 3 airports for $10 in a helicopter. And I did that once when I was a kid. We had visitors in and went with them on the helicopter, and we touched down at Meigs, we touched down at O'Hare, and then we came back to Midway. So that was a lot of fun. Okay. And they also list the times because you're taking public transportation. They list the times that the bus is scheduled to be wherever it's at, or the train is scheduled to leave, etc. So you have that going for you. Okay. Like I said, I've had as many as 10 different locations listed before, and it works fine. I'm going to switch over now. Oh, and by the way, if you have more locations that you want to go to, you can get rid of some of those locations. I'm going to get rid of this for a second here, go back there. And I'll go for directions again. And now there is near that location, 5008 South Laramie, there's a public park over here. And let's say that I want to get to that park. And I'm going to zoom in a bit here so that you can see it. And what I'm going to do, but I don't know the street names. And instead of typing in Vidham Park, because I can see it, I know I want to get there. And I want to take the route that I want to take. I don't want to take the route they want me to take. So I'm going to click down here in the box down here. And I'm going to say, I want to go, let's see, I'm going to start from here. And then I'm going to keep that. Oops, I guess not. Probably wasn't a good thing to do. So put it back. Okay, I'll put that back. There. Are you happy? All right. And why can't I add something here? I did that. Never fails when you do these things in real life. Oh, it's doing something. It's doing a time thing. Okay, let me get rid of this. I got to do this over again. Hang on. Sorry. Try. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Okay. And I'm going to go from 5008 South Laramie. I'm going to go up, and there is a street right here, 50th Street. I'm going to go to this street, and my cursor is on the secondary line here. I'm going to click on 50th. And then I'm going to click on the plus sign and click on the line. And I'm going to go down to Vidham Park down here. And this is where Vidham Park is at, right in here. And there's Vidham Park. And so far, that's about 2/10 of a mile that I've walked. It tells me that right here, down below. And what I want to do is I want to get over here, but I don't want to take the streets. I want to cut through the park, and there's a pathway here along the park. And so where I want to go to from here, I want to go up here, right near the field house. That's the field house there. And I'm going to go over there, I think. And I'm going to click on that. It knows that there's a path. And it takes me along the path. And not only does it know there's a path, but it also knows that that's another 2/10 of a mile. And it tells me now that my total trip so far is 4/10 of a mile. And it should take me walking it probably 3 or 4 miles an hour. I mean, 3 or 4 miles an hour. It should take me about 8 minutes to get there from where I started from. And so you can set up your own path and find your own way through if you want to follow the map around the screen and figure out a way back if you're trying to, you don't like their method of getting you from point A to point B, you can take your own trip around. Okay. Any questions on that? Anyone? I hope this is new for some folks. Okay. Let's see. And we've got ourselves a map now. And I'm going to click on the details here. And there's our details for this map. And all of the turn right, turn left, etc. type stuff that goes along with it. And walking directions may not always reflect the real world conditions. Yes. Sometimes the pathways are closed off and things like that because they're doing infrastructure stuff and like that. So at any rate, all right. Let's see. Click on the location. We got that. All right, good. Hang on, I got to turn the page here on my instructions for myself. And we got this. Oh, there's something called a recommended mode. I have no idea what that's all about, quite honestly. I don't know what the recommended travel mode is, but it's not available. So I suspect that if you set up a starting point and destination, it'll recommend what's best to get around automatically, and it won't be just car or just walking or public transportation. It'll probably be a combination of all those. Okay, and in some cases it may suggest that you take public transportation entirely. Okay, let's see here. Okay, and if you click on options, okay, you can, well, that's for, okay, let me go back to, let's go to the airport again, and I'm going to go to the airport and to the Conrad Hilton because I want to do this next one. Here we go. And so that's walking instructions. But if I want to drive, it has some options here. And when I click on the options, let's say, I know when my father was older, he didn't like driving on super highways. He wanted to stay on the streets, on the main thoroughfares, on side streets, etc. So you can tell the computer you don't want to go on the highways. So it'll take you down regular streets, and you saw the map change over here. If I'm willing to take highways, it takes me one way. If I don't want to take highways, it takes me another way. It finds another route for me so that I can minimize my use of highways. And the same thing for tolls or ferries. If I don't want to take a ferry, if you decide that you want to cross Lake Michigan from Wisconsin to Michigan, it'll probably take you to a ferry that goes between the two. I think it's about 6 miles across or something. I forget how far it is, but whatever the distance is across, at that point, it's a fairly narrow part of Lake Michigan, and you can take a ferry there. But if you say, no, I don't want to take a ferry, it'll take you the long way around, the longer way around. Okay. And then the distance units are automatic. It uses miles in this country. But if you like, you can have it switched to kilometers. And then down at the bottom here, it has gas stations that are there along the way. You can have those displayed for you. You can have hotels and restaurants show up as well for you if you'd like. And I forget what this is. What is this? That's, oh, there's the points of interest. That's the zoo. That's a golf course. This is Union Pacific West Line. Okay, I guess that's the commuter train, etc. If I click on the restaurants, it should show me restaurants in the area here. It shows them over here on the left, but it's also showing them on the map. It's downtown Loop. That's probably not a good idea for me to do that because there's so many of them. And I'm not going to be able to get out of this now. Oh, there we go. Gas stations or hotels. I'm going to go with gas stations, maybe a few less of those. And there's the gas stations. They're all located around the Loop. There's none near my house, apparently, but there sure are a ton of them down in the Loop. Okay. Okay. And let's see. And then parking lots. And there's some other things here. Let's see, what else do you have? Banks, takeout, post office, hospitals, groceries, and pharmacies. And I'm not going to click on any of those because you got the idea of how that works. Okay. Let's see. Alrighty. Next page. Oh boy, we're almost done. We're really zipping through this thing. Okay, went a lot further, a lot quicker than I thought we would. Okay, printing. When you want to print, you've got your instructions now, and or you had your instructions. I put the instructions back in again. Sorry about that. I'm gonna go straight to the Conrad Hilton. Okay. Once you have your instructions and you want to print them up, let's say that we take, let me see what the different directions are here. What do we have? We got this one. That seems to be the biggie. I-55 to South Archer. What's that like? It doesn't look much different. That one a little bit. Okay, here. Okay, we have a couple of different routes that we can take for the trip. This one is a big one. It changes. This takes us down to, I don't know what that is. I don't know what street that is. I can't tell. But it takes us up north. Near Roosevelt Road. And then it takes us over and we'd probably get off down here somewhere. Okay. Or we can go just very quickly down I-55, and there's I-55 into Conrad Hilton. Zoom. Okay, once you get that, you decide that you want to print this up. At that point, when you want to print it, what you do is you click on this little item here, and you go to print. And when you go to print, you'll get this choice right here. And if I click on print, and I'm not going to right now, but if I click on print here, it will take me and print out the map and the instructions. However, let's see here. Where's the print command? The print command, I should have a print icon here somewhere, and I'm not seeing it. Where are you, print icon? Not under options.
It was up in the right-hand corner.
I beg your pardon?
In
You
the
see
right-hand
print in the upper
corner.
right-hand corner?
It was, it said print.
Oh yeah, it was there a couple seconds ago, but it's normally there's one up here somewhere. And it allows you, it gives you the option of either printing the instructions, just the details, or the maps and the details. Ah, here it is. Okay. I clicked on details for this trip. And at this point, if I click on the printer, it says if you want to print including the maps. Now this will tell me exactly where I'm supposed to turn, at what corner, how far I'll be traveling before I turn this way or that way, etc. And I can have it print this, and the map, or I can have it print just the text. I can say print just the text like that. Okay. Or I can have it print the map as well as the text, and it'll print this and that. Usually what happens is it'll print the instruction, it'll print the map first, and that usually runs the full width of the page for however much space it is. It's about 2/3 of the page. And then it'll start the instructions in a column on the left-hand side of the page going down. And you can follow that. If you have a color printer, you'll see the blue line, and that's what you follow, or the pathway. And that'll allow you to see that. You can also, I believe, share this to your phone. Let me see here if that's right. Yeah. Yeah, you can share it to your phone if you want to. Or you can embed the map in something else. You can embed it in Facebook or Twitter. You could copy it. You could make it a link and copy the link somewhere. If you wanted to give that link to somebody so they would have the instructions, they wouldn't have to go through it themselves, you could do that. Okay. All righty. And let's see here. There's some fun places that you might want to visit. And we'll have that on the sheet. It's in England. And when you get there, you go to Street View and you'll see something and you'll know exactly who owns it, because it's big, blue, and it's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. And that's the only
How do you
clue
get
you're
it
gonna
to your
get from me.
phone?
I beg your pardon?
How do you get it to your phone?
How do you get it to your phone? You click on the phone icon here, and once again, I haven't played with it on the phone, so I'm not certain, but I'm guessing. I click on this little phone icon after I get the instructions up there. Okay, you see that? Let me get that over there.
Yes,
I'm just looking at you to see you over there. Okay, and if I click on that, I get a box that shows up. Can you see the box where it says send to your phone?
not yet.
No white screen with send to your phone?
No, it's not showing up on
It's not showing up on yours. Okay. Well, what it does is it says send to your phone. There's a
There
white
it is.
box. And
Oh, I see now. I
you see it
see.
now? Okay.
Yeah.
And it gives you several different ways of getting to your phone. There's, I don't know what the other things are. You can email it. I can send it somehow there's two things here I'm not certain of, the top two. Or I can text it to myself at my phone, or I can email it to myself on my Gmail account. Okay, so I could do any of those items, and I would just click on it, and that's what it would do. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. And then this other guy is, like I say, the middle one with the little dots on the triangle here. That's for sending a link or embedding a copy of the map, either in a Facebook or Twitter page, or I could even copy a link. It creates a link for that, so that I could copy the link and then send it to somebody and say, here's a link from X to Y, and here's the map. Just click on this link and it'll show you the map on how to get here. Okay? That work okay? Anyone?
Yes,
Okay. All right. One thing I'd like to mention, as I said, I'm not familiar with using Google Maps through my phone or on a tablet, mobile device. It is different. It's significantly different there. I find it significantly different. If you're interested, and once again, I'll have this in the notes that I'm going to post. There's an organization called Get Set Up, GETSETUP. And they have over 300 different classes that are available. And one of the classes is kind of interesting. It's the instructor is really terrific. And it's Microsoft versus Waze. I don't know if you're familiar with Waze, W-A-Z-E. It's another mapping program. And he teaches that specifically on the phone and on the tablet and how to use it there and how to get instructions on those. And he's really, really good. So, and the class is free. I think the next one is going to be August 30th, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. All they need is your email address and you're set. So it's really, and it's designed for seniors. The programs are designed for seniors. So it's really good. And I highly recommend it. I'm going to be doing some programs for them starting next month. So not on that particular topic, on some other topics, but I'll be doing that for them. So I mean, we'll probably post some of that information for people to see later on once I get more details. Okay. Yes, what?
What's the name?
Get Set Up. And like I said, I'm going to post that information. I'm going to get out of this if nobody's going to ask anything on this one. I'll stop the share. And I'm going to post that into the chat. I'll post both of the files. They have my notes plus some additional places for you to go and check out. And let me get that in there. There's a chat. And I'm going to try and add some files in here. I think that's for files, right?
Yeah, Joe, I've been trying to get to get more volume, but it's Chuck. And I was trying to get you to raise your volume. I don't know if anybody else is having any
pretty high,
problems.
but I'll try and get it up there for you. Hang on just a second. I'll see what I got. I thought I had it fine, but let me just double check it for you.
I've had no
No,
problem with
your
your volume.
volume is okay.
Volume's
it?
okay here
The
too.
volume is okay. It's Chuck, you
Okay.
check your speaker.
Okay. Well,
Well, I got new hearing aids and I thought maybe they were acting up. They're only a day old.
Okay. Yeah, I just turned it up a little
Volume is
bit.
fine.
I put it up a notch.
They have a feature on them. If I lose them, I can find them anywhere in the world because they got Bluetooth built in.
Chuck, you're
and they're tracked
interrupting the
and go
presentation.
forth.
Chuck, you're interrupting the presentation.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I'm trying to find out where I put the files. I can't find out how to get the files in there. I'm not seeing it. It used to be that you used to just say files, but there's not a file button here anymore. Huh. Well, that's strange. What happened to it? Is it that when you go to chat and it says everyone, and then you have a picture of a piece of paper, an emoji, and then 3 dots. The 3 dots are used to save the chat. The emoji is for emojis, obviously. But the piece of paper says Dropbox, Microsoft OneDrive, Google Drive, Box, and Microsoft. Oh, here, your computer. Never mind, I found it. Sorry. Okay, let me get into my PC here. And then over to pictures and into screenshots. And it should be, oopsie daisy, should be under maps. Yep, there is one. And let's see if I can get them both in there at the same time. Nope, I got to do them one at a time. Okay, let me put them in there one at a time. There's one in Word format, and there's another one in PDF in case you don't have Word. Let's see, that's one. Okay. And
If I could get a chance There are some other Google Map products that have a lot more features in.
Oh, gosh. I've just really scratched the surface. There's a whole bunch more there. Like I say, I just posted two documents there. They're both the same document. It's just that one's a PDF and the other one is in Word. I figured in case somebody's using some kind of off the wall or they want to look at it in their browser instead of Word, they can do that. But either one is fine. And in order to, if you want to save those or well, you have to pretty much download those now. But if you want to save the chat, you can go to the three dots and click on the three dots where it says to everyone, and then save whatever's in the chat room. It's a big text file, so everything is scrunched together, but it's there. Okay. So anybody else have any questions on this?
Hey, Joe, can you predefine locations or destinations? In other words, no matter where I'm sitting at with my car, can I type in, I want to go to grandma's house? Can I predefine grandma's house as a destination, or I have to type in the address every time?
Okay, can you do that? Yes, you can. Unfortunately, I don't know how to do that, so I can't really show it to you. But I do know that it's possible you can name locations, and once you name them, you can go to them because they will be there for you. You have to personalize it, and you go through a process on that. But I'm not familiar with the process. You'd have to look for that one on your own. I'm sorry, but I don't know that one. Sorry.
You can actually use Google Maps on some of the newer cars, like with Apple Play or whatever, when you plug it in, and it'll actually display it on your screen.
Yep, that it will. You Tesla owner out there.
I don't know on my Tesla, I already have a map already. I don't have to use a phone.
Yeah. But yeah, I've heard that. I don't have that kind of car, so once again, it's not something that I use. So it's I pretty much show people the things that I know and I'm fairly comfortable with. If I go outside that area, I don't mind going outside a little bit, but if it's something that I don't use at all, it's a little difficult for me. So at any rate, anybody else? Questions, comments? Thanks for the comment though on that. I do appreciate that. It's good to know about those things. There's just so many things that you can do. Oh, I forgot one other thing. One thing I have to show. And I just love this feature. I really, really love this feature. It is really, really cool. And let me go here and let's see here. I'm going to X that out. And there we go. Now, this is my house in September or my old house as of September 2019. But if you look up in the upper left-hand corner of this street view, you'll see where it says street view and there's a little arrow that goes down. And it says September 2007 in the image that shows up here. And you notice there's a car in the picture down below, but there's not a car in the picture. Oh, there is a car, but it's a different color car up there. How about that? Let's see. This is September 2007. That's a gray car. In May of 2009, let's see what we got in May 2000. Boy, the streets filled up with cars. That's an old car that we used to have back then. Let's see, the next one that's currently showing May of 2009. Then we have July of 2011. By the way, you may have noticed something. Notice this tree over on the left-hand side here. You see the tree? Now we go over to May of 2009. It's late spring, but you'll notice there's no branches no leaves on the tree over here. And then we go to July 2011, and there's no tree. What happened to the tree? The tree got chopped down. That's what happened to the tree. So it'll show you all sorts of things. And then another fun thing you can do, and let's see if I can get to that. Let's see. Google Maps. Street View.
Joe, it's Chuck again.
Yeah.
I think Google Maps goes back 20 years or more. I actually have discovered a sanitary plant out here sunk in a forest preserve that was built 50 years ago, but 20 years ago I discovered it.
Yeah.
And I was able to see it by going back 20 years. And it's
Well,
on
if you go back 20 years, that's pretty good because they didn't come up with Google
I mean,
Maps until
it's an interesting
2005.
tool for that history.
Yeah, that's 15 years back. It's certainly possible. There are people and groups that follow the Google car around. It's a very, very obvious car. I've seen the Google car myself twice driving around this area in the last 15 years or so. But there are people that actually follow it around. And for those people, they have some good times and they will find out where the car is at. And you get things like this. They will appear and do all sorts of things. They will stage events like so. There's, well, I won't show you this one. There's a guy and a girl. Use your imagination. You can look that one up on your own. Okay. Here's one that looks kind of interesting. Then we have this one with something on the tracks. And once again, let's see here where we at. Oh, we don't want that one with the pig or anything. And then there's a fight that they're staging, and there's somebody mooning the Google car, and so on and so forth. So we'll get you out of that one, though. We don't want to be there. So at any rate, but we wanted you to be aware of that there are some really funny things out there. So, well, I hope we answered a few questions for you, gave you a couple things of pieces of new information that you haven't seen before. And I think that's about it for me for the evening, unless there's any more questions.
Yes.
Ask me more things I don't know, that's fine. I don't mind not knowing the answers, but
I have a question, Joe.
Yes, sir.
And this may be more funny than anything else. Years ago with Google, if you ask the question, I want to drive from my house to Paris, France, it will give you a turn-by-turn description until you get to the Atlantic Ocean. Then it'll tell you to swim 2,000 miles to Paris. Is that still in Google?
I have not tried that, but they had some, they did have some interesting suggestions in the earlier days. I don't know if they still have that or not. They may have it like they did for me earlier on one of the routes that I had. They said, walk here, take the bus there, drive here, take the train, you know, things like that. So it may just tell you to take a slow boat to China or something. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past them to do something like that, say swim. But no, I'm not familiar with that one at all. But they do have some funny routes. I know that they do tend to have a certain sense of humor there at Google. So it's certainly possible. I would not put it past them to have that. You can try that and see if it does that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to try that right now. I won't do a screen shot of it, but we'll give it a shot and see what happens and see if that's what it does.
Share the screen. Let us see.
Oh, you want to see it? Okay.
Sure.
Let me do that. I'll share the screen with you. There we go. Look at that. and that. And we'll go here. And we'll say Paris, France. Oops, I didn't have a starting point. 508. I'll just 08. Sounds. Laramie.
You got no starting point.
I'm putting in the starting point.
Oh, forgive me.
55. That's okay. South Laramie, Chicago, Illinois. And let's see if that's going to do it. Okay. Here we go. And we got that. Paris, France. And I say there. And I'm getting nothing. Paris, France, Eiffel Tower. Let's see if I put an Eiffel Tower. I-F-F-E-L. One F in Eiffel or two? Eiffel Tower.
Two.
Two, yes. So Eiffel Tower. Sorry, we could not calculate driving directions from 50 hours south. Okay, they've lost their sense of humor.
Okay,
It says they can't do that. Effect the Eiffel Tower, Champ de Mars, 5 Avenue, Anatole, France, yada, yada, yada. Now, if I say you choose, there you go. It suggests that I take a plane. As soon as I said, you pick my mode of transportation, it had no problem.
Yeah,
But
Joe,
no longer does it tell you to swim.
I had one real practical, I don't know if I could share it with you or not, but the smoke from the California fires,
Yes.
you can see the air pollution on a Google map. If I could share the screen, I'll show you where you don't want to be tomorrow. I mean, you should stay in your house in Chicago tomorrow because the smoke's coming our way. And it's actually provided by the EPA on a Google map. I have it on my screen here.
Wow.
I could share it with you. I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I'm surprised they have it that quickly, although it makes sense. It makes real good sense that they would have it. Yeah. Al, if you want to give him permission to share the screen, I'll get off.
well,
the screen.
once you shut your screen down, go ahead, share it, Chuck, share your screen.
Yeah.
Let me share this here, right here. This is the air pollution schedule for tomorrow. These are particles greater than 2.5. And this is it's not hazard at this point, but the program that was on NPR radio over the weekend says it's not a good day maybe to take your exams because air pollution does affect your mental health as well. But there was a pretty lengthy program on NPR over the weekend. So
I take it the yellow
it's
area.
here now. Yeah. If you
I take it the yellow area is a bad spot.
that was the source sheet. Yeah. Anyway, I'll see if I can shut this on.
Okay.
Okay,
Get
Chuck,
these things going.
It's up at the very top of the screen, Chuck. A little red, there's a green bar and a little red one. And the red one says stop share.
Stop share. There we go. It's up at the top.
There you
Mine
go.
was hiding on the top. There we go.
Right.
okay, Joe, thank you very much. We're gonna shut the recording
You're welcome.
off.